I have a large collection of arcade games. I wonder how much money it would cost me to complete all of them if it was a real arcade. Only one way to find out. You know, they say that violence is never the answer. However, I feel that when it comes to dealing with zombies, violence is not only the answer, it is the only answer when it comes to today's game. Zombie Raid by American Sammy. A fast, violent and fucking hard as fuck rail shooter. Bring your savings, because if you want to complete this one, it's gonna cost you a lot. Granted, me and my girlfriend were using controllers instead of light guns, but it is still ridiculously difficult. Just how difficult? Well, sit thy buttocks down and I will show you. The game takes place in 1918 England. Grave robbings, kidnappings and zombies have been plaguing a village and the job is too dangerous for the police to handle, so they hire Detective Edward Windsor to investigate. Really? This old cliche? The police with all their resources and numbers can't figure out what's going on, so they send one under-equipped, miserable detective who has a potential addiction of some kind? Sure, fine. You can tell he's cool because he uses his shotgun one-handed, even though it's a pump action, so it's pointless, but to each of their own. Windsor tracks down the source of the zombies and kidnappings to a nearby castle and begins a one-man raid. A zombie raid! For that, we need to enter a three-letter name. Tempted as I was to call ourselves Sam and Dean, we ended up as Zach and Oop. What a beautiful night. Perfect for slaughter. If you can track what you want to shoot, that is. You start in a graveyard in the dead of night, no pun intended, while credits appear on screen. Enemies jump out to shoot you. To start, you're gonna struggle to see, for one reason. The colour scheme. In some areas you will go to, enemies have a colour scheme that matches the environment. There are a few exceptions, but too often you may get hit by an enemy you didn't notice out the corner of your eye because they're pseudo-camouflage. Outside it makes sense because it's the middle of the night, but in the bright castle, it doesn't, and it's annoying as shit. As you fight your way through the graveyard, you are attacked by many Lovecraftian looking creatures. Not bad looking creatures either. The graphics are a little bit of a mixed bag. You can tell where different artists have worked on different aspects of the game. The backgrounds have been drawn in a realism style, with some of them featuring a photo with some editing done onto it, while the character models have been drawn in a comic book style. That's not to say it's bad graphics though. The contrast in styles does help enemies stand out, and you can appreciate the gore more in this style. But the thing is, it does look a little lazy at times. You might see some instances as we get through the game. The bullets flying away when used or reloaded is a nice touch as well. Eventually, you reach the main gate, where you learn this game's most important lesson. Shotgun beats everything. The shotgun you have will solve all your problems. Facing endless hordes of the undead? Shotgun! Got a gate that's locked? Shotgun! Tombstones in your way? Shotgun! Civilians running in your line of fire? Oh wait, no, that one's actually a problem. Alright, it's not the answer to everything, but blasting almost everything on the screen is how you will sometimes need to advance in a level. There are secrets you can find which have an effect on the game that we will look into later. After blasting the gate, you enter the graveyard, where miraculously it's now bright as hell, and you have an easier time shooting your targets. You have to be quick though, because the amount of time you have to kill them before they hit you is shorter than a Vegas marriage. Seriously, they attacked so quick we had our first death before the credits finished. Not only that, but they will come from everywhere. They will jump out from behind trees, jump up in your face, running from off screen, flying from off screen, jumping from off screen, from behind tombstones. Blowing up tombstones with your name on it with a cannon. Wait, what? Yeah, as you fly through the level, sometimes literally, you find a tombstone with your name on it. Ooh, spoopy. Only for it to be blown up by this cunt. I was reading that, you selfish bastard. I thought it was a boss, but nope, he was just a regular enemy. Suddenly, we learn how to fly, and start shooting werewolves in the trees. Okay. Which lasts for quite a while, to be honest. It was just a minute, but it felt longer. Then, you're back on the ground fighting more zombies until we randomly decide to stand on a grave that explodes. God, don't you just hate it when graves do that? You're stood there, remembering a loved one from times gone, thinking about all the things you could have said, all the things you could have done, all the things you should have said and done, but now it's too late. And then... the grave leads up to an underground passage where 3 werewolves are doing a neck jig at you, just waiting to be shot. You may also learn headshots don't work. Once they're dead, the actual first boss turns up, and it's a werewolf with trousers. That's how you know he's the alpha male. Being the first boss, that strategy to beat him is simple. Shotgun! Literally, just blast him until he's dead. However, he is going to kill you, for the worst reason in gaming. It's no secret that arcade games cheat to try and get more money out of you, but in this game, it doesn't even try to hide it, and it's completely unapologetic about it. Every boss battle is a one-sided test of endurance, which asks the simple question, can you kill the boss who has unavoidable, unstoppable attacks that are guaranteed to hit you before your wallet runs out? If the answer's no, you're fucked. In other rail shooters like Jurassic Park, when a boss is going to attack, a spot is highlighted for you to shoot in order to stop the attack. Here, there's nothing like that but a blatant fuck you, you're getting hit. And it's such a bullshit douchebag thing to put in the game. Fuck you, American Sammy. On the plus side, not all of his attacks are impossible to stop. As you wound him, he will begin to change colour and gain new attacks. First, he has a slash that you can't avoid. Then, he will be able to run while spitting at you, which can be shot out of the air. Next comes his ability to summon minions to his aid. Most of his attacks will be the bullshit barrage of claws though, but as long as you have the coins, you can beat him. The man the wolf had captured thanks you and introduces himself as Charles. He was trying to catch the grave robbers but is struggling with the monsters. He teams up with you and says that he'll drive you to the castle, and the level is complete. Fun fact, that level felt like it went on forever, but it was only 12 minutes. Typical for a rail shooter, but... God, that dragged. Not necessarily in a bad way though. We did have fun doing it, it's just that some sections went on, and on, and on, and on, and oh, for fuck's sake, just die already! But, that's in the past now. Let's have a nice relaxing cruise in the rain. By God, the zombies have learnt to drive. With no head! In this level, Charles drives you to the castle while you fire back at the enemies, and the attacks are relentless in this level. We died so quick and so often because these cars tank bullets like a motherfucker, and they can still drive on flat tyres. You can't shoot the driver though because it's immune to bullets, so just keep blasting. Oh god! So just keep blasting them. Ooh, new ammo. If you shoot the crates in this level or other destructibles in later levels, you might find ammo types as well as other pickups. There are 3 ammo types in the game. Buckshot, which increases the hit radius of your gun, Auto, which lets you hold the trigger rather than constantly pull it, and Fire, which increases your damage. Shooting them equips them, and you can use them for a limited number of shots. All of these power-ups, however, are more powerful than your regular bullets, which struggle to kill almost anything. You can also shoot treasure to gain points and shoot hearts to refill your life bar. This level is a lot shorter than the last. No boss for this one though, we simply pull up to the gate and Charles blasts us in. Level 3. Ooh, this one's going to wind you up. So now the civilians think it's a great idea to run into a firefight, and they appear a lot more often. Either by running in from our screen, jumping out of doorways, and even sometimes hiding behind enemies, almost guaranteeing that they will be shot. Every time you shoot one, you lose a bit of health, and with how often they run and try and jump scare you, or blatantly get in the way of your shots, you're bound to hit them. Even in the first level, if you didn't know about him, you'd shoot the first civilian you see because he looks no different to any other enemy. More cheap bullshit from Sammy Games. A while of fighting these monsters later, we suddenly gain the ability to fly, again, and we encounter the big boss who has this to say.
Welcome to my dinner party, pal. Today, I'm serving a special dish. It's you!
So our flying powers decide to stop working and you land at this door. We can't blast it open, and we're being rushed by zombies. We kept blasting for a solid minute and it seemed like there was no way to end them. Oh? Aha! The old switch behind the brick wall you need to blast open with a shotgun trick. I should have known. The room behind it is an empty room. Then the far door opens and Charles, who sounds like a stereotypical posh Englishman,
Go through the door.
suggests we go through the door, but your character stares at it for way too long and we fall through the obvious trap door. Into a morgue, I think? Blast open the hatches and coffins with mummies come out of them. Okay. Can we expect vampires in sarcophaguses next? I think now also may be a good time to talk about just how difficult this game is. Even harder without a light gun. Apart from a few exceptions, most enemies will take at least 3 shots to go down. Headshots mean nothing, and by the time you get the shots off you need to kill a monster, it's hit you already. Can't interrupt their attacks and your default bullets are weak as shit, so you best hope your trigger finger has a very itchy rash on it, otherwise you're not going to be able to kill them in time and die constantly. Hey, want to see the laziest jump scare ever? That's just a photo. In fact, that's a photo. And that's just lazy. Blasting your way through the level, you eventually reach a lift. If you survive the walkers that emerge, they drop a red ball of some kind, and it's the end of the level. Level 4 starts with you riding the lift up and you're attacked by Hulk Wolf. Cheap bastard shrugs off your shots and hits you a few times before Charles steals the kill off you. That was a bit weird, Charles. You okay? So now we're in the castle and the camouflage problem is more prominent here. Green on green. Doesn't look like it when you're watching it back on the video, but when you're playing it, it does take you a second to realise if an enemy or a civilian is at the back wall somewhere. Surviving this, you get into the brighter interior of the castle. How else? By flying. You fight more enemies until Charles warns us that an enemy is trying to ambush us. Charles, no! You gonna pay for this, you little bastard! Oh hey, Charles, you're fine. Just shoot a heart. You'll fill your life right back up. Or do that. That works too. Surprise! Charles was a bad guy all along, and now he's the level's boss. His attacks start off matching the werewolf, but he's also got his own attacks. First is this weird move where he summons zombies to help while playing peekaboo with you. Then he starts bouncing around the screen as he summons more bats to attack you. At least they can be shot down before they hit you though. Then, back to the werewolf tactics. Rinse, repeat. Once again, a battle of bullshit versus your wallet. This time on the score screen, we are also told how many crystals we have, and there are 2 more to find. Level 5, we're on the home stretch now. You start by fighting your way across the castle walls as they fall away. Then you arrive at the lab where we get not 1, but 2 new enemy types. Enemy variety has been a little bit small, but it's an acceptable amount. There's very little that separates them from outside visual appearance. Sometimes they have multiple attacks, sometimes they only have 1. Some of them are fast, some of them are slow. Some of them only move up and down. Some teleport in, and some you have to free before you can kill them. But all of them don't go down easy. Speaking of enemies, Charles is one in this level too. Well, we beat his weird werebat form before. Let's kick his ass. What in the everlasting fuck is that? So Charles got a makeover. Apart from scratching his thigh constantly, he does a few things that make him the hardest boss so far. His 2 heads move quite quickly, and they spew fireballs and spitballs, which he can shoot down. But he also has a bite attack, which is unavoidable. If you also happen to destroy both heads, the weird belly button eyeball thingamajig starts shooting electric balls at you, but it won't be long until the heads regenerate, so it's kind of pointless killing them. Alas, however, like the bosses before, this is not a battle that relies on skill, but a battle that relies on wallet versus bullshit. With Charles defeated, it's time to take on the final boss. Or fall into a pit and die. What the fuck? So it turns out that this is the bad ending. If we'd found the other 2 crystals, we'd be able to access the good ending, whatever that is. But I'm not going through all that again. Fuck this game. The rules are I have to complete it, and a bad ending is a completion. So, fuck you, American Sammy. So, Zombie Raid, it's a bit of an odd one to try and sum up. It would be a fun and enjoyable game if it wasn't for the fact that all of its bullshit means that you won't be able to get very far without spending a fortune. If you do have the infinite credits, like on MAME or however you play it, then yeah, give this one a go, you're going to enjoy it. If you do happen to find it in an arcade though, don't even try and play it, otherwise you're going to go broke. And that was Zombie Raid. Thanks for watching everyone. Join me next time where we'll be finding out what happened if we decided to bomb Jurassic Park.